All right, guys, I have two videos coming your direction right now. The quarterfinals are over. This video, I'm gonna share each of the individual workouts, how I completed them. We're not gonna watch the entire workout for every single one of them, but I will highlight different parts of the workout where, yeah, I had some wins and I definitely had some mistakes. And I wanna share with you about my thought process, my plan, how I executed, all that good stuff. Let's jump into the first workout. All right, the first workout is event number 2. I actually chose to start with event number 2 with the original thought that, there'd be a lot of pushing in event number 2 and a lot of pushing in event number 3, and I wanted to have a gap between them. So this was Thursday, and I chose to do this one first, and I was going to do event 3 on Saturday, which it all worked out just fine that way. It turns out that pushing wasn't really that big of a deal for me on event 3. I started with event 2, and so we're getting through all the measurements here, making sure that everything is in line. I have 2 cameras, so when you see me doing this check, you'll see one camera and then another camera. So I'm showing you the iPhone version of this workout, and we will just skip forward here to starting. My plan was to break up the wall balls and find a pace on the burpees that I felt was good or sustainable, and just get through this workout. Like, I didn't see it being super complicated. I do a ton of wall balls in training with Boulder Athlete, do a ton of burpees and burpee box jump overs. This was just gonna hurt, and I was fine with that. So I chose to go 15, 13, 12, 9 on the initial wall balls. Focusing on getting deep, focusing on getting the ball above the line, making it super clear for my judge, making it super clear for the camera. I'm not wearing black shorts, but they are darker shorts. It's fine. I wasn't the first person to get to the box jump. So, again, I'm like, all right, we're pacing this nicely. And we go into this burpee box jump over cadence, which felt pretty good. Chose to go with this somewhat diagonal way of jumping over the box, so not quite lateral, not quite facing. In the end, we do a ton of box facing burpee box jump overs. I probably would have done that if I were to redo it, because this sideways way of doing it, maybe it saves a step. I'm not sure if it really saves a whole lot. I'm not used to stepping and holding one leg as I come off the box, so I feel like there was a little bit of fatigue building in there. But as we can see, my training partners behind me, they are nice and paced on this, and that's great. They're actually choosing a pace. I'm going fairly hot. Now, this doesn't look fast. It's really not that fast, but I'm just cooking here. And so let's talk more about this once I get through this set. We'll just speed this up. Very fast here. We're gonna go to the 4-minute mark. All right, right about here, I am finishing up the last burpee box jump over, and I'm feeling it, right? So we're at just about the 6-minute mark. My judge, he moved over. Cool. So we're at the 6-minute mark, and I realize I am ahead of schedule. So if I were to hold this pace, I would be sub 18 in this workout. And I certainly didn't think that I was a sub 18 in this workout athlete. And I was feeling it already. I was like, oh man, this is painful. I need to calm down. I got to settle things down. So I decided to go sets of 10 on the wall balls, take a quick break, but I am breathing fairly heavily. I keep checking my watch because my heart rate is really high. For me, I know my working heart rate, just to be transparent, I'm 48 years old. My working heart rate, sustainable working heart rate, is like, 135 to 155 beats a minute, somewhere in that range. I can hold that for a really long time, really like in the low 150s. But my max heart rate is like 165, okay? So some of you might have different max heart rates. My watch, I just never calculate a heart rate above 165, like maybe 170 in an absolute crazy, out of control, I'm gonna die situation. But really, like, my working heart rate is, 148. I kept looking down and my heart rate's at 160. And I know 160 is not sustainable for me. I know if I just get it down to 155, maybe 152, I'll be okay. And I keep glancing down at my watch, and it will not drop. So I do get through these wall balls, and I go into the burpees, and they were not comfortable. Going into round 2 on the burpees, I was thinking, this is a lot of, I'm in trouble. I mean, maybe everybody that went into this part, when they got to the second round of burpees, thought to themselves, like, this is trouble. Like, we got a problem here. And so this pace is fine, But there's me checking my watch again, thinking, God, my heart rate is so high. And here was the problem. I'm just going to talk about my mistake in this workout, and we'll just move quickly through the rest of this. Just let this go at like double pace. My mistake in this workout was going out too hot on the initial set of burpees. So I finished that initial set of burpees at the 6-minute mark. Again, if I do that 3 times, I'm at the 18-minute mark, which I knew was not sustainable. There, I just stopped. If you're watching the screen, I just stopped in one of the burpees. There I am stopping again. I never stop in burpees, but what I did in that first round is I went out too hot. I shot my heart rate to the ceiling and then had 100 more wall balls and burpees to complete at this super high heart rate. And it wasn't sustainable for me. Like, I'm a smarter athlete than that. And if I would have redone this workout, I would have done it the way I recommended everyone do it, is find a nice, comfortable pace in round 1. And then if you feel good in round 2, hold that pace and try to push the pace in round 3. Not go out like a crazy person in round 1, like I did, and then suffer so much. There I am, I'm bending over. Like, I've never, ever stopped on burpees like this. But that was my mistake, and it was a tactical error. I actually finished this workout feeling like I had made just this huge mistake. The workout's over. I got time capped. I got 291 reps. But I knew going into the 3rd round, I wasn't finishing this workout. So the win in the workout was, at least I got 291 reps. I'm a fit dude, and I can, hang on with grit to, just the highest heart rate and most painful thing. So that's nice. That's the win. But the mistake was I went out too hot. It hurt really bad. It didn't need to hurt that bad. It didn't need to be that costly on my body. And I'm an athlete that can finish this workout if I execute it correctly. And this was my worst score. First score, worst score, we might say. Let's move on to the next event. I want to take a quick break from this video to thank Gem for sponsoring this video. Gem believes in eating your nutrients the way nature intended. This bite right here is packed with 20 real food, vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, and superfoods. And they taste great. Here's the deal. 90+% of Americans are nutrient deficient. We just don't get enough nutrients from the food we eat. And I'm totally in that mix myself. Gem fills the gaps in my diet with real whole food ingredients that my body knows and loves in one delicious bite. It's more than just a multivitamin, and it's science-backed. It's delicious. They've worked with a pastry chef to make this little nugget absolutely fantastic. Cheers. The best vitamins are the one you take every day. And with Gem, you'll look forward to taking your vitamins and supplements every morning. Right now, Gem is offering 50% off your first month. Go to dailygem.com/Jason Grubb and use my code JasonGrubb at checkout. All right, let's talk about event number 1, which I actually did on day 2. But really quick, I know you just watched an ad about Gem, but I'm sitting here, of course, I'm obviously recording this on a different day. I just want to tell you, these things are great. Like, they do taste fantastic, and it's always better to actually eat your vitamins than swallow them in that sense. And I've noticed 2 things since I started taking these. 1, I'm a lot less bloated, which is just weird and awesome. And 2, I feel more energy throughout the day when I have one of these in the morning. And I can't recommend these enough. Give them a shot. They're fantastic. Let's jump into this event. Okay, so event 1, I went into with a much more clear strategy. For this workout, I knew that I was going to go into the snatches at a nice, easy pace. If we get 1 rep for snatches, 1 rep for calories on the rower, and 1 rep per box step up, and we just have a minute to accumulate these reps in each one of these minutes, I know that I'm going to get the best bang for my buck on the rower by pushing that hard, and on the step ups. I know that those will be less costly to my overall system over the 4 rounds, 1 minute each. So I decided to just go really slow and easy on these snatches. And it felt so weird to be going so slow when we kicked off this workout. My plan was 9 snatches, so even though my clock is next to me, I am looking directly at a clock in front of me that is synchronized so that I can see where I'm at and try to get to the rower at about the 50-second mark for every one of these rounds. That means I was doing a snatch about every 5 seconds from the top of the minute to get to 45 seconds, give or take. Then I'm on the rower just in time to go 3, 2, 1, and just tear the handles off this rower. Now, on the first row, I felt great. And everyone feels great on the first row, so it was really tempting to pull like a 2200. That is not smart. That just sounds like the kiss of death right there. For me, 48-year-old master's athlete, I want to be smart. I want to know my capacity. I know I can hit 25 calories every round. Even under fatigue, I think I can hit those 25 calories. But I know that if I just go too hard here, especially too early, I'll end up experiencing the same thing that I did the day before. And I don't want to fizzle out in this workout. I want to really be able to push this whole thing. You'll notice also on the floor, because my judge was going to need to traverse back and forth to be able to watch my reps, make sure the reps were clean, we put X's on the floor to show him where he could stand to not be in front of a clock, but also be in good position to approve my reps, right? So you got to think through these things when you're setting up your space, especially when CrossFit doesn't give you a layout that you should have specifically set up for. So here we go. I'm headed over to the box step-ups, chose to step up on the corner of the box, double checked online to make sure that there was no issues with stepping up on the corner of the box as opposed to standing up straight on the box. So for me, on these reps, what I'm trying to make sure that I show is standing up tall and squeezing my butt on every single rep. You know, these reps are, anytime you're jumping on the box or doing any kind of step ups, it's easy to not show full hip extension. You're also moving really fast. So what you're trying to do is step up, squeeze your butt, stand down. Step up, squeeze tight, get down. And if you show that squeeze, I think you're good to go on the reps. The funny thing about having dumbbells in your hands is the dumbbells are going to be pulling you in different directions. As you lean forward, the dumbbells want to tip you over forwards. So it makes it a little bit deceiving and hard to tell if someone is standing up fully on the box. For me, I wish I had a more side angle with my camera because you could see I'm squeezing my butt and popping my hips open on every single rep to make sure that they count. In between every one of the rounds, I sat down. It's just the right thing to do. There's my rollover calories. I got 25 on every round. It rolled over to 26 on most of them, 25 on one of them, but I only got 25 per round. I never got 26 reps. So I'm sitting, I'm calming down, relaxing. I'm excited about how that first round went. I don't feel too fatigued, but I know that over 4 rounds, I'm going to feel it. And I'll tell you that round 2 will look exactly like round 1. So if we speed this up, we're going to go over, I'm going to do 9 snatches, get on the row at the exact same time, get 25 calories, do the exact same step-ups. I did 18 step-ups. 26 was the rollover. Now I'm back, I'm doing 9 snatches again. 25 calories on the rower, just like clockwork, 18 step-ups. Now I will tell you that I'm starting to hurt. I'm feeling it now. I'm really feeling it. So actually I want to back up here and go back to these snatches. I'll show you that I'm feeling my grip. I'm feeling it in my core. I'm feeling tired. And so I hit these snatches and they're just a touch harder. So I'm making a mental decision here that I'm not going to go for all 9 reps on these snatches. My plan with 9, 25, 16, that's 50 reps per round. My plan was 200 every round, or my plan was 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 200 total. But in my first few rounds, I was getting 18 step-ups. So I'd accumulated at this round 6 extra reps. If that makes sense. I was 52 reps, 52 reps, 52 reps. And now I'm on my 4th round, and the snatches are feeling terrible. And I know if I go crazy on these snatches, if I try to get 9, I'm not going to have as much left on the row or the step-ups that I want. So I decided to go 7 on the snatches. Okay, so I lost 2 reps. In my mind, I'm like, I can sacrifice those 2 reps if I hit 25 on this rower. So I will just save the suspense. I hit 25 on the rower as planned. It took work though. Those weren't easy. And I got over the step-ups. They feel terrible. I hate that I wasted a couple of seconds there, but I got going on these step-ups. Again, trying to make sure every rep is squeezed tall, butt is tall, both feet are on the box. And I got 19 reps. 18 was the goal. I got 19, which made up for one of the deficits on the snatch. So for me, that was exactly how I wanted to execute that workout. It was to have a pace, have a plan, execute on the first round without getting too crazy. I did do 2 extra box step-ups more than my plan, but my plan, I wasn't sure was 16 going to work, or could I do 17, or could I do 18? And so it turns out in that first round, 18 was doable. And then I held it and held it and held it. On the last round, I actually got 19. Now, seeing scores of my other competitors in my age group, should I have pushed the step ups a little bit more and maybe gotten 20 per round, try to go for that? Probably. And that's one of the things about doing a virtual competition. I just really don't know what anyone else is up to. I hadn't watched anyone do this online. I didn't watch the Savan podcast, didn't see Dallin Pepper and Jason Hopper, all those guys. Didn't see that yet. So I didn't know what the capacity of the world was on this workout at this point, but I felt like what I did was good. But the win for me was that I had a plan and I executed it exactly the way I wanted it to go. That's event 2. Let's jump into event 3. Event 3, I do want to show you this trick that we discovered. So every year that there's been a rope climb, I've always climbed the rope and then held the tape measure up there and dropped it down. This time what we did is we built this PVC pipe measuring stick. So we duct tape a bunch together, made that PVC pipe measuring stick 15 feet long, actually just over 15 feet, just to be super, super clear. Measure that on the floor, and then we take this PVC pipe and we walk over to the rope, and we show that our mark on this rope is taller than the PVC. So it's hard to see, it's very hard to see, but it's very clear. The PVC pipe is about 15.25 inches, and the spot that I needed to touch, I just needed to touch the tape, touch where we have that tape there, and that meant that I was touching above 15 feet. So touching the tape on this one was 15 feet. I made it super clear in my reps to make sure that I was all the way up there. But take note, this was the best way to do this. You just measure 15 feet on the floor, and then just hold up your jig. I guess in construction they call this like a jig. So it was so great. Then we move over and do all the measurements on the wall. Let's go ahead and get through that. I'll just get us to the workout here. All right, I very much had a plan for this workout. My plan was to go unbroken on the handstand push-ups and then break up my toes to bar into 8-6-6. Had to think about that. That's hard math. But 8-6-6 just made sense to me. I can do 20 toes to bar unbroken all day, every day. I probably could have done 20-20-20 in this workout. But this was a workout where I was just trying to keep like everything calmed down. Having learned my lesson from the prior workouts, you don't win this workout by crushing this first set of toes to bar. So I didn't. I did exactly what I planned. And it was so hard to jump down on the set of 8. It just feels silly. But I know in my head, I'm keeping my core calm, keeping everything calm, because the workout here is actually at the ring muscle ups. If you can get there, that's where the workout is. And it was really interesting. So all of this work prior to the ring muscle ups, for me, was to get me really worn out for some really tough ring muscle ups. So anyway, I went 8-6-6. We'll just move in fast motion here. Unbroken on the handstand push-ups. 8, then 6, then 6. Unbroken handstand push-ups. Those felt great. And then on the toes to bar, I have 2 versions of toes to bar. I've got a fast version and a slow version. One, is definitely much more taxing, and the fast version is taxing. The slow version here just kind of allows me to relax on the kip on the way down, give a little pull with my shoulders and my core to get the toes up. But this is my easy, relaxed toes to bar. I can go faster, but I don't need to. I actually started to feel a little bit of fatigue as I got through this last set of 6 and 6. I felt it in my grip, felt it in my core a little bit. But again, I was like, okay, this is fine. I don't have to do any more toes to bar after this, so we're good to go. It's going to be back to handstand push-ups and then onto the rope climb. Trying to minimize the time in transitions, but also, again, trying to take a breath or two to let that heart rate stay calm. On these handstand push-ups, I chose to go 6 and 4 on the strict. That was just because I thought that the ring muscle-ups would be more about pushing on the end of the ring muscle-ups. They weren't. I should have done 10s here, but I just wanted to stay conservative. Took quick breaks, 6 and 4, felt good to me. Get over to the rope climb. I tell myself I'm not going to get shock until I need it. Let's just get on the rope and get going. So my plan was to go 2 pulls, certainly, get above the tape, make it clear, and fireman drop on the way down to limit any tax on my grip, any tax on my arms. I don't want my arms working on the way down at all. So that's what I tried to do. And again, trying to create that hinge. So once I get my feet up there, I'm going to hinge my body up there, push with my legs, drive myself up there. was actually pretty decent cadence. I could have gone a little bit faster here, but again, I was just trying to keep things under control. I think we're 3 reps in. We'll speed it up a little bit. Here's the 4th rep. Little chalk. 5th rep. Handstand push-ups, making these super clear. Make sure they're locked out. Literally having my thumbs touching the tape. So it's 30 inches wide. Your hand has to be on the tape. So I am going to have my hands as wide as possible, but touching the tape. Because why wouldn't I? That's the standard, and that's what we're going to do. I generally do my handstand push-ups in training just a little bit more narrow, but those felt great. Going over, again, my plan is to not dilly-dally, just get on that rope, get that first one out of the way. I always feel like I want to rest before rope climbs, but it's never as bad as I think. If I just get up there and get moving, it feels pretty good. I don't know why it is when I get off of rope climbs, I always want to walk around like in a circle. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. I walk away from the rope, and then I turn around, I start walking to the rope. That's my cadence. That's how I'm going to stay engaged in that rope climb. I could even, I should have put like an X on the floor. I could have dropped from the rope, walked to the X, turn around and walk back. That gives me the chance to have something to do, but also keep a nice pace and a nice cadence. I'm definitely feeling fatigue in my arms, trying to let those arms sort of swing around after I get off that rope. I was never in danger of not being able to do a rope climb, but I was definitely feeling some fatigue. As expected. Might as well just watch this last one. Felt really good on the rope climbs. They felt really efficient. I was 2 pulls on everything. I took 1/3 pull, I think, on my 4th rep on the first set of rope climbs. I just didn't get high enough, so I had to do a last pull there. Now it's time to do wall facing. I was going to cartwheel up, but then I realized that the other guy I was doing the handstand push-ups with, I couldn't cartwheel since he was doing handstand push-ups. So I had to do this quick call to do a small wall walk. I could have easily done that set unbroken. They felt good, but I was trying to conserve, again, keeping things under control. So quick break. I think I go 15, 20 seconds off my overall time if I don't break up my handstand push-ups. But it's okay. I get through them. And then we actually move the camera, turn it over. That was allowed, so you had to do that. Let's go back, watch these in reverse. Okay, so not a lot of time, and I am just going right into the ring muscle-ups. As expected, these were super challenging. I had a plan to go 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. That gets me to 20. And I'm really glad I had that plan in mind. I feel like I would have panicked a little bit at how hard the ring muscle-ups were. I knew they were going to be hard, and they were. And I did those 3, and I thought, oh my gosh, those were really tough. I hope I can get another set of 3 so that I'm on the right number to do sets of 2, right? This is going to leave me at 6. I created a little swing in the rings, so I'm going to wait for that swing. Get up there. Always show lockout, super clear before dropping. Flash those rings out to show that lockout and come on back down. Now I'm on to sets of 2. And honestly, I felt like I was taking forever between these sets of 2. And I was going plenty fast, honestly. But every time I took a break, it was how much time do I need to take this break so that I can get 2 reps done? Because I'm pumping the second rep right now, and I haven't even done 8 reps. But I remember thinking every time I chalk, I'm like, this is so hard. So hard. So let's watch these a little bit faster. There's 9. There's 10. 11. 12. I'm not spending 1 extra second up there once I lock out. 13. 14. 15. 16. Might as well watch 17 and 18. When we speed them up, it looks like I don't lock out. So I want to make it very clear that these are fully locked out. I look at the clock. I'm like, I kind of wanted sub 11. I've got 4 reps to go. I'm not going to get sub 11. There's no way that I can get 4 reps done. These are so hard. Everyone felt like I'm just gambling. I hope I can get up there. Here we're at the 11-minute mark. I know I've got 2 to go. How much rest do I need in order to not fail one of these reps? I just went so hard on these. It's like, let me give the hardest reps I can. Oh, that one was close. There's the lockout, and we're done. And that was it. That's all she wrote. That was workout number 3. Now, knowing what my time was and knowing that I finished, I had an idea of what some other people's times were. I felt really, really good about that time when it was done. I actually had to go back and watch the video multiple times just to confirm in my head that I had gotten it done in 11:15. And that's where it was. I was locked out at 11:15. You always wanted to watch the video like, did I lock out at 11:14? Nope, I locked out at 11:15 exactly. The win in this workout for me was that I had a very specific plan, a breakup strategy that I thought would leave me with the most possible energy for the ring muscle ups, which I knew were going to be the hardest ring muscle ups of the year. Okay. And that's what I did. I felt really good about that. I didn't miss any reps. They were all very hard. It all went as planned. Ways that I could have improved this workout if I were to retest it. And I actually thought about retesting it kind of for fun because I liked it, but I didn't need to, so I didn't, is I would love to see what would have changed if I go through this workout doing all of the handstand work unbroken, knowing that this workout was not so much about pushing with the shoulders or with the triceps, it was more about core fatigue. So I'd want to keep the toes to bar under control. I'd want to keep the rope climbs under control. Maybe even take an extra second on the rope climbs, just a little bit, to keep that core under control, keep that from being too fatigued, and then get to the rings with a bit more time and see if I can keep that same 3-2, 3-3, 2-2, 2-2, 2-2 cadence and get to 20 reps under 11, maybe even like maybe 10:45, 10:30 if I go unbroken on all the handstand push-ups and maybe move a little faster in transitions. Who knows? I was still very, very happy with this effort. Now let's move on to event number 4. All right, event number 4. I was pretty excited about this event, although it was Sunday and I was a little fatigued. I think just the buildup of the fatigue from 4 days of intense competition is where the fatigue was. Like I didn't feel any specific overwhelming fatigue in my body. My pressing muscles certainly weren't tired from event 3 the way I thought they would be. My legs were still a little sore from event 1, but it wasn't bad. You know, just a little bit of soreness. So a note here, I brought these plates from home. These are the Rogue HG 2.0 plates. I think that's what they're called. But they are dead stop plates. And they're the kind of plates that if they hit the ground, they don't bounce. And that's what I wanted on this work. I did not want to chase a barbell. I was not going to go touch and go on any of the reps. So if I'm dropping that bar from overhead, I want it to dead stop so I can pick it up and go without any issues. And that's those are the plates to use for that. So it's fun to bring those in. They're a little dusty from my garage because they've traveled a long, long time. So yeah, so I'm about to get into this workout. It was the least measurements you had to do. You just have to show your bar, you got to show the plates, and have a timer. That's it. All right, as we get into this one, I had a very specific set of times that I wanted to get this workout done in my head. Timestamps just all laid out in my head. I didn't have them written out anywhere, but I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to take 30 to 35 seconds to get through this first set of clean and jerks. As you can see, not a lot of bounce. There's a little bounce there, but I'm not having to chase it. I don't need to go faster than this. I mean, this is as fast as I want to go. Lining up the bar there, making sure I'm right where I want to be. And we are there, I think at the 39-second mark, somewhere in this range. All right, so 39 seconds. Wanted to be 35, but I was at 39. Wasn't worried about that. Now I'm planning that minute break here. And my goal at 185 was to be done with 185 in about 90 seconds. So somewhere around the 3-minute mark to be done at the 185 bar. Let's speed this up. Just trying to breathe, keep things calm. Sitting down, making sure I turn around between each rep. These reps felt great. It's funny when your CNS is super activated in a workout like this. Like I don't cycle 185 like this in training, you know, but in this workout, it felt pretty good. It felt fine. So we gave it a good go here. We'll just get it a little bit faster. Again, my goal was to be done with this by the 3-minute mark. And I was done a little bit early. If we go back a little bit, it's about the 2:30 mark. So I did those 10 in about the same time that I did the first set. So it was a little faster than I thought. Wasn't really thinking about it too much. Just breathing, keeping myself calm. My goal was to be done at the 6-minute mark with 225. So I was like, okay, I've got a little extra time for 225. Depending on how this feels, I could be slightly ahead of schedule. So I was not looking at a clock while I was doing these reps in particular. I was just trying to take 1 or 2 breaths, actually 2 or 3 breaths between each rep. I felt like breath, breath, pick it up. Breath, breath, pick it up. And that's what I did. Each rep felt pretty good. Again, I don't do a lot of clean and jerks at 225. My max power clean is like 260, 265 on the best day. So I was done with 225 a minute before I thought I would be. I thought I'd be done with it at the 6-minute mark, and I was actually done with it at the 5-minute mark, or 4:49 was my tie break time. So I knew I was slightly ahead. I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm ahead. 2 things were happening, and I can't play the music right now, but I had started a song, Invincible, by the band Tool. It's my favorite song. I could just work out to this song over and over again. And right around the 6-7 minute mark, it's got this great beat, this great rhythm to it that you just start to want to like move your head with the rhythm. If you know the song, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what was fun is that right now, the song was moving into that rhythm, this part of the song, which like, look, I could PR. I could probably squat clean 315 pounds right now, which would be a huge PR with this part of the song on. So I am ready to go. I'm kind of excited. The song is on. I feel good. I have all the time in the world for these clean and jerks. My plan was 4 a minute, regardless of when I had started the clean and jerks at 245. I was going to try to get 4 per minute. So here I am testing to see if I can actually hit that 4 per minute. I do want to say that I don't often, if ever, do clean and jerks right into the jerk at 245. Again, CNS is high, fatigue was low, especially after that break, so they felt good. And I just thought to myself, wow, these are feeling easier than I thought, so let's keep a cadence here. I was trying to keep a rep at the 0, a rep at the 15, a rep at the 30, a rep at the 45. So I thought if I can hold this cadence, this would be great through all of these reps. I'm 3 reps in, body feels good. The music is jamming. I can't play it, otherwise this video will get copyright restricted, so I can't let you hear the song. But I am right on track. And I'm concerned that that rep wasn't as good. Like, am I getting fatigued? Where am I at here? But it's all right. We've got some minutes. We're just going to go a little fast here. Again, hitting this cadence. Here I am at the 15. Here I am at the 30. At the 45. So that one took me a little bit longer. Trying not to step away from the bar. There's one at the 8. Here's one at the... Now that one, I do want to go back to this one. This one cost me. So I missed my timing a little bit. So I had to hold onto the bar, punch it out. That cost me time and recovery. All of a sudden, I can't do this next rep on time. That made me tired to hold the bar an extra time. So I forfeited a rep here, if that makes sense. I'm trying to do 4 reps per round. I'm only going to get 3 reps in this minute, or 4 reps per minute. I'm only going to get 3 reps in this minute because that 1 rep cost me, that holding it on my shoulders. So this one, I was like, get it off the shoulders no matter what, because I can recover faster that way. So now I know I have a minute left, and I want to see if I can get 4 reps, maybe 5, but at least 4. Here's the one at the 9, the one at the 15, one at the 30, and I know this is my last rep. I'm not going to get another rep. We have to have the rep finished before the 10-minute mark. This is rep 15. Make sure the lockout is good. Felt really good about it. Certainly felt good about that workout. Josh, I just left him. He was trying to come in for a fist bump. I was too distracted. But yeah, it was a very challenging workout. The wins in that workout for me, it went a little bit faster than I thought. And it was just because I don't do 10 clean and jerks at 135, take a break. It was really hard to know how long it was going to take me to get through 185 and 225, given the fatigue. So I had some fairly conservative timestamps in my head that would have left me with 3 minutes to do clean and jerks at 245. Turns out that I could go a little bit faster at the 185 and the 225 and still feel pretty good going to the 245. I bought myself an extra minute there and was able to get out 15 reps. Wish I would have got 16. If I get 16 reps, I win quarterfinals. If I get 2 extra burpees, I win quarterfinals. But I didn't. And that's just another one of those things. Like, every single rep counts. The fact that I had to rest on my shoulders on that rep in the 8-minute mark, somewhere in there, and then I did the jerk, it cost me a rep. And look, I don't need to win quarterfinals. It doesn't matter. But I would have if I got that rep. So everything counts. Everything matters when you're doing these qualifiers and in competition. Having a plan matters. Planning that out in your head, visualizing what it's going to look like, will keep you calm in the workout and will give you some expectations in the workout. Like, I knew that the ring muscle-ups were going to be hard. When I got there, I was confirmed they were hard. The only one of the workouts that I didn't execute the way I would like to have executed was one that I didn't think enough about beforehand. Maybe it was just the nerves. It was the first event for me, was event 2. I went for that one first. I hadn't visualized it properly in my head. I hadn't thought about how long it takes me to do each burpee and if I push too hard, the consequences of that. But I learned, and you just take these lessons, you learn, and you move on. And take what you can, learn what you can. If you'd like to see full versions of these workouts, I'll upload them as well. I mean, I know I fast forwarded through some of them to make this video not 13 hours long, but I'm happy to upload each individual workout if you'd like to see them. Also, stay tuned. I'll have a full behind the scenes video, which will have highlights from the workouts, but more about the behind the scenes of the 4 or 5 days of quarterfinals for me, what it was like to receive the workouts, and then what it's like to be me behind the scenes that Wednesday, recording videos, sharing with my Boulder athletes, all of that kind of stuff. What I eat throughout quarterfinals, how I recover between day 1 and day 2 and day 3, what my protocol was for all of that. I'll share all the secrets in that behind the scenes video. I'm currently editing it, and I can't wait to get it in your hands in the next day or 2. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Again, if you have any questions, comments, put them in the comments below, and I will be happy to respond to those. As always, your best days are ahead of you. Get bolder, not older. See you next time.